Hey, what's up, everyone? This is me, Dre. Now, just got home from work, got to see the entire fight. Didn't really pay attention to the undercard fights, but at the same time, working the call center, so I received calls and was interrupted, so didn't really get to focus on that. But got to see the fight in its entirety. Now, with my previous video, I predicted that Mayweather was going to win. It was a good fight, and just like I predicted, Pacquiao was going to bring the pressure, stay in Mayweather's face. A lot of people that I work with are Pacquiao fans, and one of the things about boxing that I understand is that connecting with your punches scores. And this reminded me a lot of when Mayweather fought Oscar De La Hoya back in 2007, something like that. And everyone got excited when Pacquiao had Mayweather on the ropes and he was throwing those flurry of punches. But when you observe closely with the match, what you see is that I would say 95% of his punches thrown were landing into the guard, which is not scoring. He had a couple of good jabs and crosses, a couple of good hooks to the body, but he didn't bring the kind of fight that you would have seen him do with Juan Manuel Marquez, especially with that second fight where he came back to defeat him after getting knocked out by him. Mayweather, I thought he could have done more with his counter punching and a little bit more deception, multiple punches, but he did enough to outscore Pacquiao. So hats off to both of them. Much respect to Manny Pacquiao because he's a hell of a fighter, and he brought the kind of pressure that I expected him to. I had a clean fight, but that's the way Pacquiao is. He's a very polished and clean fighter in the ring, and you can't take that away from him. That's why people love him so much, and I respect him tremendously. But when I'm observing the fight, each round I was, marking it. So I actually had it scored 117 to 114 Mayweather. Once again, he did enough to win. Pacquiao was a bit more aggressive. He just didn't make his punches count. I don't know if it was apprehension, letting loose like he did against Tim Bradley, against Juan Manuel Marquez, against his other opponents. He just didn't do enough, and that was his undoing. At the same time, I knew it wasn't going to be a knockout. Mayweather's not a knockout artist. Pacquiao definitely is. He's got the punching power. Once again, I just thought he fought tentative against Mayweather. He really didn't let loose. But it was an at the edge of the seat match. Of course, getting calls while I'm working in a call center, it's kind of frustrating having to take care of my customers and keep half of my focus on the fight. But I was cognizant of everything that was happening with the fight. And just as I said, there's going to be excuses from the haters. They say that he ran. Boxing is about hitting your opponent and not getting hit as much. So when you look at the punches thrown and the punches landed, you can see how Pacquiao didn't land as many punches as opposed to he threw it. So it's impossible to say you're going to throw 100 punches and land 100, but his percentage or the ratio to which he connected was much lower than Mayweather. And Mayweather used the one and most basic technique of boxing, which is the jab. He held off Pacquiao with the jab. I was hoping to see a bit more counters. He had a couple in there, but didn't really make it count the most because there were a couple times where Pacquiao would step in with his punches, and just like when Marquez knocked him out, a good counter, he would have ate it all day long. But Mayweather won. And no matter what people say, because people still aren't going to give him credit, even the announcers afterwards weren't trying to give him the respect that was due, because now with each opponent that he defeated, when he defeated Canelo, people were saying, well, he hasn't done shit because he hasn't fought Pacquiao. Now that he's fought Pacquiao, it's time to shut the fuck up, because he did exactly what he needed to do. But hats off to Team Money Mayweather. He did exactly what I thought he would do, and that's play a very strong defensive fight, use the ring to his advantage, which is what any good boxer would do. When you're in the 12-foot by 12-foot ring, you stick and move, and that's what Mayweather does. His defense is second to none. But will there be a rematch? I highly doubt it. I mean, this match was already done. Mayweather proved what he needed to, is that he can go against the best fighter in his weight class, and he beat him decidedly. And now there shouldn't be any excuse by anyone as far as who he needs to fight next, because the one name that came out of everyone's mouth was Pacquiao, and now that's water under the bridge. So congratulations to Floyd Mayweather. Much respect to Manny Pacquiao. This was an exciting fight for me. Some people were bored, but the science of boxing, you're not always going to get the knockouts, which is how people equate a good fighter. But boxers don't stand toe-to-toe in the middle of the ring. Mayweather, his longevity for the almost 20 years that he's been boxing is because of his style of fighting, his ability to take less damage and deal out the damage that he needs to, save his hands, because that's something that boxers have to worry about in the middle of a fight, is hurting the hand and not being as effective. But all the same, this was a good fight for me. Somewhat vindication for Mayweather, because now he doesn't have to hear people say that one name. And now people know that he's not avoiding Pacquiao. They fought, Pacquiao lost. Now Mayweather gets to do what he wants to do. Chances are he's probably going to retire, because, as I said, he signed a 3-year contract with Showtime, and the contract is basically up. And having beat Pacquiao, he can go out on top, 48-0. But go ahead and leave your comments in the comments section. I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to say he ran, but fuck the excuses. You have absolutely shit to say because you watched the fight. It's not about what he should have done. What Pacquiao should have done was win, but Pacquiao should have done more in the ring to help his cause, and he didn't. So there's no one's fault but his own. So he gets time to think about that, but chances are there's not going to be a rematch. Anyway, if you like this video, I hope that you like, subscribe, and share. Peace.